because now I have pressure to go longer. And that includes the tours upstairs. I just want to make sure to plug that in there, because this is a really special building. And this was my very first choice to do this, and so I was very pleased when they were so supportive. And Anthony was like, of course, that would be great for you to be here. The reason it was my first choice, besides the fact that I have so much respect for Andy and Anthony and what they do, but it's a really great icon of where Davis has been and where Davis is going. It couldn't be a better representation of what we can do when we really hold tight to our roots and yet grow as much as we can. And hopefully everything will be growing now that it rained. That's what yeah, well, hey, any drops are good at this point, right? And I just wanted to start by first saying thank all of you for coming. Really, I just have such gratitude to be able to do this, and I think not that you're coming, but also that you've supported me over the last 3.5 years. It's really pretty amazing. It wouldn't be able to do it without the support, truly. And I forgot the best part of campaigning is seeing my friends. Yes. You know, you get so busy and wrapped up when you're actually doing the work of council and work, and of course we all have, you know, we've got families and everything else. So it's great, and I'm also very lucky that I have incredibly understanding people in my life who, even though it's a wave as I walk down the street, don't know I haven't abandoned them as friends. And I really want to thank you two for the last 3.5 years. There's a lot of people I've partnered with both Supervisor Benza and Senator Wolk, and I know Dion's around here somewhere, and then Cecilia's here from Winters, and you know, Diane's here from Supervisor Saylor's office. And you know, so that's the political connections, but the public-private partnerships have been amazing. And again, that brings us back here to Davis roots. And I think what makes it even more special is not everybody knows the history. Yeah. This was a great idea. They had been, you know, looking at what could we do to kind of start incubating, because we talked about something we need to do. We need to be better support system to the university. So Joe and I were talking with staff and kind of seeing what can we do, what can we do. And it was a really new breaking ground when we were having these discussions. So Joe and I wrote the staff report at his dining room table. They ended up coming before council and getting unanimous support. That to me is pretty exciting that we could do that, and that really just demonstrated what we've worked on collectively as a council. We've really tried to encourage people to come forward and give us your ideas. I was asked to speak to a Girl Scouts group on Wednesday about women and giving back to the community, because you know I also do Rotary and child abuse prevention. And other nonprofits, and so I was talking about that, and the reason they had asked me there was to show why do people give back, and it's just because not only do we give back because it's rewarding, but I wanted to encourage them, like we do in this community as a whole, is that if you really do come to public comments and you talk and you ask and you have ideas, we're committed to try to help. We can't do everything, but we certainly can be supportive. And so that, to me, Davis Ridge is a great example of the support. The art in downtown, I mean, that is just so amazing. I'm so proud to be able to be part of a council who said, you know, we've got this form and this rules, and here's how we do it, but how about, what is your idea? How about you guys go out and you make a change? And we started seeing murals up on the statues and the New York Times. That's exciting to me. And it's exciting that the community has gotten involved and getting behind it. We've done other good things also over the last few years I was glad to be a part of. Maury Seiki coming to Davis is really big. I mean, it's amazing. We competed against Chicago, Illinois, and won. You know, we did have to give a break on fees. I'm very proud of that vote, that unanimously we all agreed. You know, sometimes you've got to give to get. And I see that as like the other bookend. You have people coming to the university, they're in Davis Roots. We're working really hard to grow here. You know, Jim and Oz is here, and they're part of a lot of folks who work really hard to also help find space. They work together with our staff. And then we have getting all the way to manufacturing. And hopefully we're going to take, hopefully we will, take that next step and give more space so that more companies can come here and know that even if they're in a growth, they can continue to live here and take advantage of our great quality of life. Another thing that happened that I think a lot of people maybe not be aware of, but what's also changed is our regional outreach. We went to cap this year with the biggest team. It was so exciting. And it really just shows why, because sometimes people don't know part of what council members do, and we all do these things behind the scenes for the different things that are important to us, not that everything isn't. But I was lucky enough, I have a very flexible career by choice, by design. I made it that way so that I could take my kids to school most mornings. But it also affords me to do community service, public service, and council. And so I did go to regional meetings and then was asked to be the co-chair last year of Cap to Cap, which is an amazing honor. And the reason I share that, it's not just about a pat on the back. The reason I share it is so that everybody understands how that's changed, and it helps us in our own local evolution. People really know when we were back there in this big team, all the communities in our region and the whole Sacramento Valley was like, wow, Davis is here. They have the university. They have an incredible town. Because what a lot of people don't know is that when everybody claims to be home to UC Davis, and we were absent for some of it. And we're not anymore. Now we're in front, and I've had colleagues in other communities tell me, you know, that's really great you guys are active, but now we don't compete with you. and that's good. Competition is good, because even if people don't land here and they land in Winter, so they land in West Sac or even Sacramento or Woodland, there is true about the rising tide, and it's good for us too, because it's still in our county, it's still in our region, and it's still close. The one thing that has been so great that's moved forward, and why I agreed to run a second term and seek re-election, was because of the movement we have made on our budget. That was really important. That was what, you know, motivated me to go ahead and give it a run last time when I was approached. Unbelievably, 4 years ago, almost to the day. I can't believe it's been that long. And you know, we've done a really good job. We've cut, as a lot of people know. But there's two sides to the coin for economic stability and fiscal stability. And we have a lot of work to do on the other sides, and that's the revenue side. And you know, we've been great the last year or so. A lot of it prompting from Dopey was to add revenue to the conversation when we're talking budget. And we should. I mean, you know, that's what you do. You have ins and outs. You have on your ledger, you've got everything there, and now we do that, and there's a lot more that we need to do though. But we've done some incredible things, but we're still not quite sustainable yet. And that is why my goal is moving on to another term, to really be able to take those next steps. We've started a lot of important programs, and it's more than just an innovation task force looking to put some businesses there. It is about our outreach, it's about our message. You know, one of our business leaders downtown, we were just, you know, talking, she's doing a trunk show, and she said, you know, Davis' resume is really evolving. And I thought, wow, you know, that is true. We're not changing. We're still the core DNA. We're still Davis is what makes us Davis. But that's okay that we go ahead and grow. And that doesn't mean grow in size necessarily. It means grow within. You know, another, I think, icon in Davis, I look at Davis Food Co-op. One of my favorite places for a ton of reasons. You know, it's one of my best memories of my now 23-year-old running around in the little cart and bashing into people's. So I apologize. That happened over the years. But it's still in the same space. And sure, it's grown a little bit, and now it's got a different color and a beautiful tomato out front. It shows the art. But it's still the co-op. It's still Davis. And I think that the things that we're looking at doing is exactly, to me, like that. We're not tearing it down. We're not changing it. We're not supersizing it. We're just growing within the envelope of what is Davis. And really keeping it strong. And so that's why I'm so grateful for the support. And I don't want it to be all about the budget or economic development, you know, but those are really important. Because at the end of the day, the best thing we can do as council members is certainty. We need to find a way to bring certainty. Certainty to our budget, and certainty to revenue, bring certainty to everything else. Bring certainty to a nonprofit that wants to go to the vets. And now they don't know. Those fees have been going up. We don't like that they go up. You know, we've had people approach us and say they can't use it anymore. Certainty that when you come and invest and live in Davis because of our amazing farmers market and our downtown and our green belts, there's going to be there in 5 years and 10 years. You're not risking your investment to be here. You know, certainty that our Safe Routes to School program is on smooth and safe and well-lit green belts and bike paths. You know, that's so important, and that's why, you know, it's so important not just as council members, but as a community at large, to really be involved and look and understand why the revenue piece is so important and why we can't wait for tomorrow, and we are going to have to be audacious. Not crazy, but we may have to be a little audacious and really get out there and say, yeah, we're open for business, come here, bring your company here. And we have H.M. Klaus, here. I wish I could have wrote the list, but then we'd all be standing here for a very long time. And this is probably the longest speech I've ever given.
I could have talked longer.
And there's just so much more. And our website is evolving, and it's going to be up soon. And I bring that up because we're going to be listing all these companies, and so people can go and see. And it's not just the companies, it's the art programs, it's the music program. And look at what Art About is now. And it's only getting better. When I'm in Sacramento, or I'm in San Francisco, or other parts of the region, and I bump into people like, oh, you're in Davis. Wow, you guys have this great art on Fridays, right? Oh, you have this great little theater downtown that we've always gone to. And it's so exciting. It's always positive. And then I was at a Bio Bay organization over in the North Bay there in the China Basin. And so for some of you who don't know what that is, they have a lot of companies that's gone there as part of their redevelopment, a lot of tech companies, a lot of research companies. And they know what Davis is doing. That was amazing. I was the only person that was like from this side of, I don't know, probably the Bay Bridge. But, but they were excited, and they knew about us. They knew what we've been doing, and that to me is success. And I really hope that we can capitalize and do it more. So in closing, bringing it back to gratitude. I feel so grateful to have been able to do this. Yes, sometimes it's crazy and sometimes it's busy. One of the things the Girl Scouts also asked me was, why? And so I've been thinking about that since I gave a quick answer. Well, I was asked, and it's an important thing to do to give back. And I also realized that some of my supporters have told me this, that they don't want to run for council, but they want to be a part of it. And so, I feel blessed. The why that I can do it is because I can. By design, I made a career path, like I said before, that lets me send my kids off on their bikes in the morning when they're mostly grown, but also to do the public service and to have flexibility, and that I can continue to do that. I know there are a lot of people who can't. They can't do that. They're at work during the day, or they don't have the time, but they want to be involved. And so I feel very lucky that I'm in a position that I actually can give back and do it, and I guess a part of who I am, and I just need to reconcile myself to that. And so thank you again for coming. Please stay, sign your name to my banner if you wouldn't mind. Really physical endorsement are always appreciated. And as I always say, don't hesitate to pick up the phone or email me or text me, and if I don't get back to you right away, I apologize in advance. I promise. I sit there at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes and scroll when I can't sleep, and so I try to text back then, I promise. But so anyway, so thank you again for coming, and I look forward to the next few months.